I never imagined a quiet Sunday morning could turn my world upside down. I was sitting on my balcony, coffee in hand, scrolling through old photos, when a small envelope slipped out of an old book I hadn't touched in years. My hands froze. A letter. From Liam. Liam Brooks. My childhood friend. The one person I thought I had known completely. We had grown up together in this small American town, the kind where everyone knows your name and your business. Back then, Liam was my shadow, my constant companion. He was charming, funny, and somehow always knew how to make me laugh, even on the days I felt invisible. Everyone assumed we'd end up together someday. I secretly hoped we would, though I never admitted it. Life, however, had other plans. After high school, I moved across the country for college, chasing my dreams. Liam stayed behind, running his family's small business. We drifted apart slowly. Messages became less frequent, calls rarer. I thought we were fine. I thought I understood why we grew apart. I was wrong. The letter's handwriting made my heart skip a beat. My hands trembled slightly as I unfolded it. It began simply. Emma, if you're reading this, it means I wasn't brave enough to tell you the truth years ago. I felt a shiver run down my spine. Truth? What could he possibly have hidden? I know I hurt you. I let jealousy guide me. And I made choices I regret. I wanted to protect myself, but I ended up betraying my best friend instead. Jealousy. Betrayal. My stomach twisted as memories I had dismissed started surfacing. Subtle digs, cryptic remarks, moments when he seemed distant or secretive. I don't expect forgiveness, the letter continued. I only hope someday you understand why I did what I did. I dropped the letter and buried my face in my hands. Understanding? Forgiveness? How could I forgive when I wasn't even sure what had really happened? A small part of me wanted to ignore it, but another part, the stubborn, curious part that had never accepted half-truths, knew I had to uncover everything. I couldn't let this go. The days that followed were restless. Every old photo, every message, every memory seemed loaded with hidden meaning. I started digging, checking old messages, emails, social media posts. And there it was, the evidence of subtle betrayals I had ignored. High school messages hinted at his jealousy. Sometimes people you trust the most aren't always who they seem. At the time, I'd laughed it off. Now it made my blood run cold. I discovered an old prom photo. Liam was standing next to someone I barely remembered, a girl I didn't know well. Yet the way he looked at her, the intensity, the possessiveness, mirrored how he had acted around me sometimes. Was this the jealousy he mentioned? Was this the start of the small, deliberate rumors he had spread? I spoke to Sophia, my closest friend. Do you ever feel like someone you trusted completely wasn't honest with you? She frowned. Emma, maybe you're overthinking. People drift apart. Maybe it's nostalgia. Nostalgia didn't leave a pit in your stomach or make your pulse race whenever you thought about him. I knew this was bigger. Then came the day I decided I needed answers. I invited Liam to meet me at our old park, the one where we used to plan our futures. Rain was falling lightly, the kind that makes everything feel more serious. When he arrived, shaking off his umbrella, we just stared at each other. I could see hesitation in his eyes, the same hesitation from years ago when he had drifted away. Emma, he said, smiling faintly, it's been a while. I held his gaze. Liam, I found your letter. I read it. Tell me everything. No excuses. He exhaled slowly. I was jealous of your life, your opportunities, your confidence. I thought I couldn't compete, so I did things I regret. I spread rumors, small things at first, enough to make people doubt you. I didn't want to lose our friendship, but I acted selfishly. I handled it all wrong. I felt anger and hurt swirling inside me, but also clarity. This was my moment, not for anger or destruction, but to reclaim control and dignity. I can't pretend this didn't hurt, I said. But I am stronger than your mistakes. And I won't let this define me. He looked genuinely remorseful. I don't expect forgiveness, he admitted. And you don't get it, I replied. But I will make sure the truth is known. and that your actions don't continue to hurt others, or me. Over the next few weeks, I quietly started collecting evidence. Messages, old emails, even conversations from mutual friends who remembered things differently than I did. I didn't seek confrontation. I sought clarity and justice. I shared my side of the story with colleagues, classmates, and old friends, carefully, calmly, and without anger. The result? Slowly the truth spread. Misunderstandings cleared up. Rumors were corrected, and people who had doubted me apologized. My reputation, once subtly tarnished, was restored. Liam began to realize the impact of his actions. Socially, his influence and image took a subtle hit. Not because I humiliated him, but because the truth revealed his choices. This was my revenge. Justice without malice, reclaiming my life and dignity while letting him face the consequences of his own actions. One evening, I ran into Liam again. There was no hidden letter now, no secret, just the man who had once betrayed my trust and the woman who had reclaimed her power. "You handled this well," he said quietly. I smiled faintly. "It wasn't about showing you I was right. It was about showing myself I'm stronger than the lies that tried to define me." Walking away that night, city lights reflecting on wet streets, I felt closure. The past had shadows, yes, but I had stepped out of them. I had taken control, not with anger, but with honesty, courage, and resilience. Life will continue to test me, but I now know this. Trust yourself first. Don't let anyone else write your story. Sometimes people hurt you deeply, but their mistakes can give you the strength to rise higher than you ever imagined. And that in itself was the sweetest revenge.